Hello and welcome to today's lesson on creating user accounts in Windows 10. We have a number of different objectives to cover today. We are going to explain the different types of user accounts and what they do, demonstrate the ability to create new user accounts, and we'll be talking specifically about the Computer Manager utility, and we'll take a look at some of the property options for these new user accounts. Okay, so let's get to it. There are two types of user accounts in Windows 10. There are what I refer to as a normal user account, and these would be normal users logging in the morning, doing their normal work, opening up applications, opening up email, Word, Microsoft, Excel, PowerPoint, etc., as well as going into the web browsers and surfing the internet, doing whatever it is they need to do. These user accounts don't need a lot of access to the actual machine itself. These normal user accounts are what would typically be created on a day-to-day basis, so they don't get any extra securities assigned to them. Just enough to do their work, but not enough to be dangerous. The other type of account is administrator account. And these are the accounts that are a little bit more dangerous. These accounts have full administrative privileges to the computer. They can change user settings, they can create new users, delete users, change security options. There are typically not too many of these. There's one by default, and then you can create as many as you need to, but I would shy away from making every single user on the machine an actual administrator account. That's not something that you would normally want to do. Alright, so creating user accounts, it's actually quite easy to do. The utility that you use is called Computer Manager. It's the main administrative utility for a number of different things. There's a screenshot for it here. I'm going to demonstrate how this works in a few seconds. But the administrator has a number of different things in it, task scheduler, event viewer, shared folders, etc. There's one in there called local users and groups, and that's where we're going to go now. So to get to this utility, you just select your file system at the bottom, and then find the icon that says this PC. So you're going to right mouse click on this PC, and then go to the option of manage. And it brings up the Computer Manager. Now, within the Computer Manager, as I mentioned, there are a lot of different utilities. The one we're going to deal with right now is the Local Users and Groups utility. So I'm going to expand that. I'm going to go to the Users container, and you'll see there's a bunch of them here already. But creating a new user is extremely easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do a right mouse click on that, choose the option of New User, and it brings up just this little dialog box here where it's asking you for a username. This is required. A full name and description, these are optional fields, and then your password, so this is also required. So I'm going to go ahead and create a user account, and I'll just call this test, and I'll call it test Nagel, and my description is test for, we'll just call it DI for digital imagery, and my password for now is, I'll just put DUQ, oops. And we need to talk a little bit about these little guys here. But before we talk about these, we're going to go ahead back over and have a little bit of a checkpoint here. So you should be able to answer these questions. How many types of users are there? What are the types? And give an example of what each of these types would actually do. Just remember the two types of users that we discussed, and what kind of what would they do on a daily basis, and then what is the name of the utility that is used to create user accounts.